Hi, it's Kiffin Bates here, and today's video is a resonance security video, and the topic I'm considering is not directly related to resonance. It's related to a post I saw where somebody was saying that they only like to hire security professionals who have a home lab. And that person, and I wish I could remember who they were, but unfortunately the feed scrolled past and it disappeared. I couldn't find it again. But the person who said that they think you should only have security professionals who have a home lab got a lot of stick in the comments about this, which, to be honest, I found kind of bemusing until I realized that one of the problems was that the term home lab was not well defined. The home lab idea is that you have some computers or a computer at home, or possibly even one running in the cloud, that you use for experimenting with. So you set it up and then you install software and you mess around with it and you see what happens, and it allows you to try out for real what is involved in configuring a firewall or searching logs to see if you've been hacked or things like that. You might use a home lab to set up a honeypot server to see if you can trick hackers into trying to break in through your security, for example. And I don't think the original poster was talking about somebody having 6 monitors in a basement and 12 servers and sitting there in a dark hoodie hacking away with Kali Linux or something like that. I think they were really just trying to say that you can't learn security principles just academically if what you're concerned about is being involved in real securing of computer systems for clients or for companies that you work for. There's a lot of theoretical stuff to computer security that you need to get your head around and that you need to study, but it's a bit like learning how to drive. At some point you do need to get behind the wheel and actually put your feet on the pedals and see if you can make the vehicle move along. It's all very well to read what the purpose of the accelerator and clutch and gear stick are. There's another whole side to it when you actually build up the muscle memory to know how to use those controls. And I do agree with the original poster that it's very, very helpful to have actually installed a number of different operating systems, to have tried to set up a firewall, to have switched to using asymmetric keys for login with SSH and things like that. And similarly, if you've had the experience of thinking that your system has been hacked and then have spent time trying to work out if that was actually the case, and then if so, what had actually happened, well, that again is like the difference between a firefighter who has done all the training but has never actually had to rescue people from a burning building versus somebody who has actually been there out in the city when there's a fire, dealing with a real emergency situation. So also looking at the other side of it, well, yes, just rejecting a candidate because in an interview they say, no, I haven't got a home lab, is probably the wrong thing to do as well, because maybe they don't know what a home lab is. I think that if you've got a Raspberry Pi with Linux running on it and you've connected it through a VPN and you've mucked about with it or tried to run a web server or something like that, you're already on the start of having a home lab. I have an old HP ProLiant server in my basement. I have a laptop with Kali Linux installed on it. I've got a Raspberry Pi that I stick various random things on from time to time. I like tinkering with the hardware, and in fact I even have a separate subscription for a 5G modem to connect these things to, so they're not going through my home one. And I guess that would therefore qualify me as being someone who has a home lab and could therefore be hired. But I hadn't really thought about the fact that it qualifies as such a thing until I started thinking about it a bit more deeply. And therefore, really, the point is, if you're a junior starting in software engineering and particularly in cybersecurity, then it's probably a good idea as a hobby to actually try to look at some of these things practically with your fingers typing on the keyboard and issuing terminal commands to see how these various packages that are out there that help secure software actually work. That'll stand you in good stead if you ever face an interview. It's going to be nice if you, in the interview, show that you've read all the articles and books and you've kept up to date with the news and things like that. But ultimately, practical experience is hard to beat when it comes to assessing various candidates, and so therefore the clear recommendation is spend some time as a hobby actually getting to know how to do this. And I think this actually spreads beyond computer security, to be honest. I think it applies to software development in general. The best software developers I've worked with have always had home projects that they've been working on. They have their day job where they go and do whatever it is they do for Microsoft or Google or whatever, and then they go home excuse me, and they try and do something else with software just to learn more about it because they're fascinated by it. And of course, ultimately you want people who are in a particular job because they love what the job entails. You don't want to hire people who are just hoping to get the paycheck. And certainly the computer industry is the kind of thing where there are plenty of people out there who find computers and computer programming and computer security fascinating, want to learn more about it, and those people are clearly ultimately going to be the most valuable to you. So that's today's post. I said it was tangentially related to Resonance Security, which is a cybersecurity company that I work for as an advisor, and we've been going for over 2 years now. It's been a great ride so far, and it's been up and up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future brings for Resonance, particularly because I'm learning new stuff by working with them all the time. And that then ties into what I said earlier, where of course as an employee you want to work for companies that give you the opportunity to expand your own knowledge too. It shouldn't just be about what you're giving them, it's also about what they give you, and what they give you doesn't just have to be a paycheck, it can also be life experiences. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.